If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 126 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start with quite possibly one of the most difficult games of this season, Arsenal away at the Emirates. They're not having the best of seasons in the league, currently sat down in 7th, but obviously we did play them recently in the Capital One Cup semi-finals over the course of 2 legs, and they did come out on top in that one, and Romelu Lukaku was the thorn in my side, and he started in this one with Danny Welbeck sat just behind him. They got the pace of Rio Miazzi out wide rather than Theo Walcott, who was on the bench, I think. But I'm starting a strong lineup, as you might expect. I decided to go with Hector Bellerin at right back because obviously perhaps wanting to put in a better performance than he normally does because we're playing against his former team. So hopefully George Evan Ranty can do the job for us up top as well. We, like I say, we didn't come out on top when we played them in the Capital One Cup. Unfortunately, we missed out on the chance to get through to the final, and a lovely back heel from Danny Welbeck there through to Romelu Lukaku, who was the difference in those 2 games previously a couple of episodes ago, and he was the difference a couple of minutes into this one as well. Brilliant back heel by Welbeck, but the finish from Lukaku at the near post on his right foot was very, very good. Fortunately, though, Kieran Westwood wasn't to be beaten at his near post for a second time a few minutes later because he was able to tip that Danny Welbeck shot up and over the top of the bar. Nicholas Sporler, though, coming down the left-hand side, obviously very, very fast, although not quite able to race away from Rio Miazzi at the pace he might have needed to actually stand up a better cross than that, but still got it into the box, and unfortunately the header was straight at the goalkeeper, and then Romelu Lukaku played through again. Obviously fast, strong, gets past my defence, but fortunately for me, accuracy not quite on point this time, using his left foot trying to find that near post and hit the woodwork itself before the ball went out for a goal kick. So Arsenal's so close to taking a 2-goal lead here this early on in the game, and then they're actually going to get close here again. A lovely save by Westwood, and I don't quite know how Romelu Lukaku's been able to get that sort of arc and angle on the ball without having it go into the back of the net. So unlucky for him, and so lucky for me to only have the scoreline at 0-0. George Everett in behind, though. This is the one chance we needed to get ourselves back on level terms before half-time, but unfortunately, Wojciech Szczesny makes a very good save. The next highlight comes at that same end, but obviously in the second half now, so Arsenal have the opportunity to get themselves a second goal if they want to. Rio Miazzi with a shot, though, good block by Paul Downing, and then Guerreiro seems to force the attacker down to the ground, and it looked as if there was just a push in the back or a trip there, but then from the replay, I can't quite make out what the penalty was given for. They just seem to be running next to each other, Rio Miazzi and Guerreiro, and Miazzi goes down. It's just, there's no clash of legs, there's no tug on the shirt or a push. He just falls over. Alexis steps up to take the penalty, though, hits the bar and away it comes, and Miazzi can't get there for the rebound. Fiola clears it, and we live to fight another day. The gap is still 1 goal as we head closer towards full time. Less than 10 minutes to go, though. This time Sporler up against Debussy round the outside, brilliantly able to get around the outside of him, and well, I don't really know what sort of challenge that was from Oliveira. Ranty was trying to square it across to the man in the box, Georgiev, waiting for the cross, and you'll see from the replay, it just gets nowhere near the ball. It's just, he completely misses it, wipes out Ranty from behind, so we get the chance to score from the penalty spot this time. Georgiev steps up, goes the same way as Alexis, a little bit lower though, underneath the bar, into the back of the net. We equalise with minutes to go at the Emirates, and we do find ourselves picking up a 1-1 draw. Whether that's a deserved point or not, I'm not too sure, but I'm glad we got it nonetheless, because Arsenal hammered us for that first half, and we did really well, or perhaps kind of have to thank Lady Luck for them not getting a second goal, whether it be from the penalty or Lukaku hitting the post or Kieran Westwood making good saves. We scraped our way to a point, and I was hoping that we could get 3 in this second game against Stoke. We're at home now, obviously, as you can see, and Stoke are sat mid-table, but they're never an easy side to play against Stoke. They've turned themselves into one of those sides that they seem to consistently finish safe from relegation in mid-table, but don't really seem to threaten the European spots. They're just kind of a run-of-the-mill side, kind of the same way that Blackburn were until they kind of self-destructed and found themselves getting relegated. They just were always in that kind of 8th to 12th position in the league, and you never really know how you're going to get on against them. They're playing a strong-ish side. There's no standout talent there, but obviously Marko Arnautovic is a very, very good player, and Stephen Ireland is a tricky midfielder. As you can see there, lovely turn from him, and Quaker actually hits the bar with the first opportunity for Stoke in the game after half an hour. Unlike the Arsenal one, it was quite an even match to start off with this one, and there weren't as many chances either. As you can see, the second highlight is almost at half-time. 40 minutes in, it's Jack Grealish cutting inside from the left. Turns it so really nicely, and the shot is quite unlucky. They're drilled right across the face of the goal, and unfortunately it flew past the post rather than inside it. So we head into the second half. Again, Stoke going to have the first highlight, just as they did in the first half, but I'd be hoping that they hit the woodwork, or worse, the same way that they did in the first highlight moments ago, and Hesketh actually drilled it wide, so fair play. A chance each so far in the first half, and a net chance for Stoke in the second. So I made some changes to try and freshen things up for us. Fabian Cassada coming on, and Michael Woods going off for Signorelli. Francisco Signorelli. Doesn't see too much first team football, Signorelli, but did well to break their move up there. And then Ivan Santillan just collapses off the ball up against Breck Shea. Not really too sure what he was doing there. I was quite annoyed, considering obviously Stoke scored from that particular move. So not only was I annoyed that he gave it away, then I was even more annoyed the fact they actually scored from that opportunity. So Santillan doesn't get barely any first team football at all, thanks to the brilliant form of Andy Kellett, our new signing from Bolton this season. And to be completely honest, with the arrival of Robertson from West Ham next season, he's not going to get any football whatsoever next year, and he's going to be moved on, because clearly he's not good enough for us anymore at this level. Jenkins Chikawidho's going to whip this corner in, see if we can get a goal right at the death like we did in the previous one to get ourselves a draw, but unfortunately the shot before the corner was deflected wide, and then the header wasn't good enough. So Quaker's goal in the 85th minute wins it for Stoke. Oh, Santillan, what have you done? What have you done? And then we come back to find out that apparently Jenkins Chikawi doesn't like the weather in England anymore. Yeah, that's the thing. So Jenkins Chikawi's future at the club is in doubt. Hopefully, I don't have the funds to right now, but you guys were saying that obviously he hasn't grown too much for the past 18 months or so in game. So at the beginning of next season, I'm going to try the short-term loan glitch to see if we can help boost his growth again. Because I don't have the funds to wouldn't be able to afford to recall him if I put him out on loan at present. Well, obviously I can't do it now anyway because we're out of a window, but still, you know, I would have done it in January, but I couldn't afford to recall him because, of course, we used all of our wage budget up on, bringing in 3 pre-contract players that will join us briefly, actually. We're not too far away from the end of this season now. So we jump into the third game in the episode against Manchester City at home. Karim Benzema leading the line for them with Lopez sat behind. That's Jay Rodriguez, not James, out wide for them with Yaya Touré and Fernandinho in the midfield as well. And it was Yaya Touré that stood it up for Vincent Kompany to power into the back of the net in the 3rd minute to give us a 1-0 deficit. Not the way I wanted to start the game, although we did go 1-0 down very early on in the Arsenal game and were able to get ourselves back into it. So I wasn't too disheartened from that, but Lopez cuts inside here, finds Fernandinho, squeezes it through to Jay Rodriguez. Bellerin toe pokes the ball away and the referee points to the spot. Wasn't sure what the penalty was given for in the Arsenal game, and here it's clearly not a penalty. Look, if you watch the replay, Bellerin comes in, puts his foot across Jay Rodriguez, pokes the ball away, and look, just there. Not a penalty. It's just not a penalty. But Jay Rodriguez goes down, referee points to the spot, the big team get the decision at the smaller club, Benzema steps up and hits the bar, same way Alexis Sanchez did, but this time it goes down into the ground and over the line rather than just straight out of the goal. So after 8 minutes, we are 2-0 down. Not the start I wanted, to be completely honest, against the team that are sat right next to us in the league. So Georgiev's trying to get us a goal back here if we possibly can, but a good save down low by Joe Hart. It's weird, this season we seem to be playing with goalkeepers. Obviously, we mentioned it in the last episode, David De Gea doesn't normally play for Man United. They normally play Anders Lindegaard, and then here in this 5th season, Man United seem to be playing him. And normally, Manchester City seem to play Willy Caballero in the opening few seasons, and in the 5th season here we see that Joe Hart still exists. So it's quite strange that the CPU has finally decided to actually play the right goalkeeper, and it's taken 5 seasons for that to happen. But regardless, Sami Nasri came close to making it 3 there. To be fair, Man City were by far the better side in this game. We just could not cope. I don't know what it is. Every single season we've started really, really strongly, and then in the last 2 or 3 months despite having a fully fit side, the form just trails off. I don't know whether the CPU starts playing better for the run-in or whether I start playing worse for the run-in every season, but it seems to be a pattern that has happened in every single of our 5 seasons so far to this point, and we lose the game 2-0 at home against Manchester City, who were Champions League spot rivals, as you can see from the league table. They're now 6 points ahead of us and with a game in hand. We're now 9 points from Chelsea at the top of the table, so I think the title is gone, but we are still 4 points, well, 2 points inside the Champions League spots, although Spurs and Palace have a game in hand, and we're 4 points inside the Europa League spot, but Liverpool have a game in hand. So our European spot is actually in a little bit of danger now. Still very, very close at the bottom, as you can see. Hull on 33, Swansea 33, Sunderland 34, Everton 35 and Derby 36. So anybody could be relegated and anybody could qualify for the Champions League right now. Arsenal are sat there on 53 as well. You say anyone from 7th to 2nd, well, anyone from 7th to 3rd, really, because Man City are kind of a little bit further ahead. Anyone from 2nd to 3rd could finish 3rd or 4th for those Champions League spots. There's kind of 5 teams vying for those 2 spots. It's going to be really interesting in the run-in with only 4 games to go. We're going to have to do our best in the final few games of the season, and we will do those over the weekend. But that's today's episode coming to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will be streaming Football Manager over on Twitch TV tonight, so check the link in the description to my Twitch channel. Follow the links over there to my Twitter as well, and follow me there, and on Instagram, add me on Facebook. Subscribe to my second channel, link will be in the description as well. And of course, feel free to check out my sponsor G2A if you want yourself any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.